Breaking, look what just happened to Sean Hannity after exposing huge detail about Seth Rich murder case nobody else would. Over the past several weeks, Fox News' Sean Hannity has been hot on the trail investigating the case of murdered DNC staffer Seth Rich, who many people believe was murdered by someone closely connected to Hillary Clinton as a way to silence him. Hannity had been in the process of proving to America that Rich was the source of the massive DNC email leak, promising to disclose a bombshell on his show that would prove that Rich was murdered by Democrats. Now it appears that the powers that be are frantic to silence Hannity as well, after a series of unfortunate events began to immediately plague the conservative talk host after he vowed to get to the bottom of the story. If you're not familiar with the story by now, DNC staffer Seth Rich was savagely murdered last July, right after feeding WikiLeaks with some very disturbing dirt on Hillary prior to the presidential election. Several weeks later, WikiLeaks would release thousands of emails related to Hillary as part of the infamous DNC leaks, but Rich at that point was already dead. After leaving his Northwest D.C. neighborhood early Sunday morning on July 10, Rich was brutally shot multiple times before the shooter fled the scene, leaving zero evidence for authorities to solve the murder. It was an obvious intentional hit on his life and not a random robbing, as none of his personal items has been taken. Sean Hannity decided to start look into Seth Rich's death even more closely after the lead detective on the case told Fox 5 in D.C. that local police have been continuously stonewalling the investigation, while telling him to stand down on the Seth Rich murder investigation. Hannity even had infamous hacker Cam.com on his show earlier this week to discuss the hacker's claim that Seth Rich had provided WikiLeaks with internal Democratic Party emails. But it didn't take long for Hillary Clinton's evil talons to start tripping apart all possibilities of her hit job being discovered. Hannity was going to present smoking gun proof that Seth Rich had been murdered earlier this week, but for some odd reason in the 11th hour, Seth Rich's own family, who previously wanted answers, suddenly became belligerent. Not only did they demand that Hannity stop talking about their son's murder, but they appeared to have hired DNC attorneys to go after Fox News and Hannity, pressuring the network to pull and retract the story. Rather than sticking to their guns to expose the truth, Fox News then blasted Hannity's journalism, saying that it did not meet the high degree of editorial scrutiny we require for all our reporting. If that wasn't enough BS to last Hannity a lifetime, he just got borderline career-ending news on Wednesday after learning that a large number of companies are now pulling their ads from his show, after he vowed to his audience in the wake of Fox News' decision to pull the story that he'd continue investigating the mysterious circumstances around Seth Rich's death. Breitbart reported. A number of companies have pulled ads from Fox News host Sean Hannity's show Hannity after he pledged to continue investigating circumstances surrounding the death of murdered DNC employee Seth Rich. Companies including Cars.com, Peloton, and Less Asleep have all given in to pressure to cease advertising on the show over Hannity's pursuit of now retracted claims made by Fox News that murdered DNC employee Seth Rich had contact with WikiLeaks before his death. On Tuesday evening, Hannity invited internet entrepreneur Kim.com onto his show to discuss his claim that Seth Rich had provided WikiLeaks with internal Democratic Party emails. However, after Rich's family sent a letter to Fox demanding that Hannity not host Kim.com, the appearance was cancelled, with Hannity saying he made the decision out of respect for the family's wishes. In a series of tweets on Wednesday, Hannity accused figures including George Soros, David Brock of Media Matters, and failed presidential candidate Hillary Clinton of liberal fascism, after his advertisers were reportedly inundated with emails from left-wing groups asking them to stop advertising on the show. You can always tell if you're getting close to the truth by how the left responds to what's going on. Similarly to how liberal morons always scream you're a racist when you're winning an argument, on a larger scale with personalities on television, they'll simply be punished by having their revenue streams yanked by these huge corporations as a way to silence the person speaking the truth. Hannity was obviously on the trail of something huge, otherwise why would the left panic and start pressuring these companies to stop pressuring Hannity's show? It's official. Melania just made White House history with shock announcement she made in Rome. Melania Trump is still overseas on her first presidential trip and just used her time in Italy to make a shocking personal announcement about something she could no longer hide. She made history in the process as the only First Lady ever in the White House to reveal what she did, hours after emerging from the hospital where she felt she needed to bring her secret out into the public. The First Lady has developed somewhat of a new habit that's become more obvious in her travels, to those looking a little closer than others. What she recently began doing in the States has since carried on overseas, leading to an unbelievable miracle revealed just hours after leaving a children's hospital in Rome. Being the quiet, private person that she is and respected for, there are some personal details of Melania not known to the public. That's recently changed after what ended up being a more religious trip to Italy than a political one. Melania has made a habit out of visiting sick children in hospitals at home and abroad, making a point to spend time at one in each country she visits on this week-long trip. Her love of children is palpable in the pictures that come from these visits, and now we know that there's a much deeper reason for that. The Daily Mail reports. When Melania Trump recited the Lord's Prayer before Melbourne, Florida presidential rally in February, the internet went hog wild. Now we know one reason why the First Lady began with "Let us pray and Our Father who art in heaven" when she introduced the president that evening. She's a practicing Roman Catholic. Her spokeswoman Stephanie Grisham confirmed that to DailyMail.com on Wednesday, hours after Pope Francis blessed the rosary for her at the Vatican. Not only does this announcement about her faith make her the first Lady since the Kennedys to be a Catholic in the White House, but it's perhaps because of her deep faith that something unfathomable happened after she left the hospital. True to her faith, Mrs. Trump spent time in prayer at the Vatican-affiliated Bambino Gesù, Baby Jesus, hospital, and laid flowers at the feet of a statue of the Madonna, according to Mail Online. While she was at the hospital, she talked to each tiny patient individually, not just about their likes and dreams, but also about their conditions they're struggling with. With this insight into their lives, Melania got to know a little Greek boy in the intensive care unit who was in need of a heart. He had been on the donor list for a while and time was running out. While at his bedside talking to him and whispering sweet words of hope and encouragement to him, Melania asked if she could pray for him. He gladly accepted the offer and she prayed for healing and a miracle. God not only heard her prayer, He wasted no time in answering it and performed a miracle on this sweet child's behalf. Upon landing in Belgium, I learned a young boy and his family who had been waiting for a heart transplant was informed that the hospital has found a donor, the First Lady said in a statement. I read a book and held hands with this special little one just a few hours ago, and now my own heart is filled with joy over this news. Melania's frequent trips to children's hospitals are not for photo ops, which liberals claim they are. It's clear that her heart is truly with these children who she cares deeply for, which is something that the hateful left can't fathom feeling for strangers. Her words said after this miracle, as well as other hospital trips where she connected with kids, truly speak to this incredible fact about our First Lady. To spend time speaking to and coloring with children who have such a positive spirit despite illness was an amazing gift, Melania said. The time I spent with the little ones in the intensive care unit is something I will never forget, and I will pray for each of them daily. Her faithful prayers for these bambinos, as she affectionately referred to them as when speaking to the Pope in Rome, are an incredible blessing, as one lucky little boy has recently experienced firsthand. As much as she's a gift to these kids, she's a blessing to our nation as well. We are so fortunate to have a First Lady of faith in the White House who uses her trust and belief in God to bless others. Please like and share this post if you are proud to have such a compassionate. She's an angel. Melania just made a miracle happen for these sick kids at a children's hospital in Brussels. Melania Trump spent her second day in Belgium visiting the Queen Fabiola Children's Hospital in Brussels, where she spent time doing arts and crafts with the young patients. The 47-year-old First Lady was all smiles as she took selfies with the children while presenting them with several gifts, including Dr. Seuss books and souvenirs from the White House. Melania was presented a bouquet of paper flowers during her visit, and she happily gave one to each child before posing for photos with them. She took to Twitter after the trip to speak about her wonderful experience visiting the hospital. Thank you to Queen Fabiola University Hospital. Enjoyed creating paper flowers with amazing patients and getting a tour. #Brussels #Belgium, she tweeted. The First Lady arrived in Brussels on Air Force One with her husband President Trump on Wednesday evening, stepping off the aircraft in a navy and blue gingham coat. Share this post if you are proud of Melania Trump. What do you think about this? Comment below. New collusion trail has been uncovered. You won't believe where it's not to President Trump. Democrats complained until they got their special counsel named to additionally investigate whether there was an agreement between the Trump election campaign and the Russians to impact the 2016 presidential election to support Trump. Let us not overlook that few different investigations effectively closed. There was no proof to support it. Obviously, the counter-Trump Democrats will kill Chase until they figure out how to dig up something implicating, regardless of the possibility that they need to develop the story around it. Presently, Senator Lindsey Graham, RSC, has said something advising Congress to relinquish their own particular examinations and take after the collusion trail driving back to Hillary Clinton's messages. Senator Graham expressed in a Fox News meet that he accepted there were emails between Clinton campaign officials, Democratic operatives to the Department of Justice regarding the Clinton email investigation traded under Obama's oversight. Gateway Pundit reported. Senator Lindsey Graham, RSC, told Fox News on Thursday that Congress should abandon their own investigations and go back to focusing on Hillary Clinton's emails. Senator Graham also said he has reason to believe that there are emails between Clinton campaign officials, Democratic operatives to the Department of Justice regarding the Clinton email investigation. Lindsey Graham, I do not know what caused the appointment. I have not seen any evidence of a crime yet. The bottom line is I respect the decision, but this pretty much shuts Congress down.